Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekly Oracle Wisdom. My name is Natalie Sadie, and we are going to have a look at what the Oracle cards have to tell us for the energies for the week ahead. I hope that everybody had a wonderful weekend. And again, if you're in Southern California, the rain is falling and has been for days, and I hope that you have enjoyed it rather than hated it, because it happens so rarely here. All right, we are going to start with the Clarifying Life Situations Oracle deck by MahrukhX. Okay, so let's just pull a few and see what we have. So last week we had a bit of a bit of an issue where the live stream didn't actually go live until about 10 minutes in. So I believe from what I can see that we are actually live, which is wonderful. Gotta love a Mercury retrograde. I'm meant to enjoy it because I have Mercury retrograde in my chart, but fun fact, I do not enjoy it. All right, we're going to pull one more and then we'll have a look at these cards. Okay, so the first card out is Resurrection. Shake off the past and rise again. Reinvent yourself and you will rise up from the ashes even more powerful. Recovery, comeback, return. So this is very much like a phoenix rising from the ashes, but just before we get into this, we'll look at the rest. Golden moment. A blessing is on its way. An important door is opening for you that will make you very happy. Rare, once in a lifetime, and special. Then we have poor choices. Think again before making any decisions at this time. Caution is needed. There's a hidden problem. Warning, reconsider, no. And then we have breakthrough. A significant breakthrough is near. Whatever you're going through is preparing you for this next big break. Discovery process, big boost. So I know whenever I'm doing a reading and whenever I pull cards like this that contradict each other, it's always a question of, well, how can this be? Because we're getting conflicting messages. The reality is, I think we've been going through some trials, for lack of a better word, and we are finally coming to the other side. We're coming to the other side of it, hence the Resurrection card. Shake off and rise again, reinvent yourself. Whenever we are challenged, whenever we're challenged, we are forced to sort of take stock of what's going on and have a look at what is serving us and what isn't, and the changes that we need to make. And it's our chance for growth as we come through the other side. Now, I think I always say that whatever we're going through is preparing us for what is coming. And I often talk about the abusive relationship that I was in and how that gave me or showed me the strength that I had within me and gave me the ability to keep growing. And as different challenges presented themselves, to understand the strength that I had within, which I know when I was going through that relationship and that breakup and rebuilding my life, which was such a huge thing, I didn't believe I was strong, despite people telling me otherwise. I just thought they were insane. And it took a lot of time for me to be able to see and understand the strength that I had to get through all of that. All of those things build you up for what's coming, because it gives you the tools, it gives you the ability, it gives you the understanding. Life, teaches us that things aren't just black and white. We so often think, no, if this happened, I would do this, and everybody else should behave the same way, and they should make the same decisions as I would. And that's just not the reality, because every person's situation is nuanced. We don't always understand everything that's going on for every person, and the factors that come into play as they make their decisions to move forward with something or someone in their lives, even though it's something that we think we wouldn't do. And sometimes we think, I would react this way in a situation. And when we're faced with that, that's not the reality. I always said, if any man ever laid a hand on me, I would be out the door so fast, they wouldn't know what hit them. And that's not what happened. Why? Because I didn't understand the mental and emotional abuse that takes place in the lead up to them ever laying their hands on you. I was isolated. I was in a world of so much pain that by the time he was physically abusing me, I felt like I was worthless and that nobody would help me or come to my rescue or aid in my escape from him. And that's just a reality. And I understand a lot of people who've never been in that situation are listening to me saying this going, that's nuts. It's not. And it's a very common thing. And this is why these life experiences play into us looking at the elders as being the wise ones, the oracle, the owls that impart wisdom on younger people. It's because they've lived and they have an understanding. So just know that everything that has been going on for you has been preparing you for what's coming. And there is an incredible moment coming up, this golden moment, which, you know, a blessing is on its way, an important door is opening for you that will make you very happy, rare, once in a lifetime, and special. So something special is coming up, and then we're immediately met with poor choices. This is to make sure that you're thinking through what it is you're agreeing to and stepping into. It doesn't need to be a bad omen, but it's a warning that maybe you're going to be presented with multiple things. And this is where you have to be smart in the choices that you're making. You can't just dive in and go, oh my God, this looks amazing and I'm going for it, because maybe that's not the golden opportunity. Maybe that's the universe testing to see whether you're paying attention and whether you're actually invested in your own growth and paying attention to what's going on and paying attention to what's serving you, paying attention to whether or not you are repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. So the poor choices is just your red flag, warning flag to sort of say, okay, you have these great things that are coming, but make sure you look at it properly before you dive in. And maybe that opportunity is absolutely the one and the thing that is going to propel you forward and bring you joy. And if it is, that is amazing. And I am so thrilled for you. But just calm the farm for a minute and pay attention to what is happening with all of that. Weigh everything up before you say yes. And then we have the breakthrough card. So providing you weigh things up and take time in making these decisions, you are going to have this breakthrough, discovery, progressing, big boost. So there is this movement forward. Now, we had another card come out, which is commitment. Commit to this next stage in your development, and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. Long-term, determined, all in. So we see this, and obviously the commitment card has a ring. We see commitment as being a ring, an engagement ring, a wedding ring. But I don't necessarily think this is relationship based. I think this is about a commitment to the path forward that you are on, commitment to these new opportunities that are coming through, committing to what the universe is offering you, and really seeing this through all the way to the end, because it's very easy when shiny things are waved in front of us to go, oh, I really want this, and this is so exciting, and this is a new opportunity, and oh my God, it looks so exciting. And then we start and go, it's a lot of work. Like, do I really want to do that much work? The reality is, if you commit and you see it through, this could be an incredible opportunity for you, which is amazing. If you don't make the commitment, you know, will it be as wonderful as it possibly can be? Possibly not. So let's pull, I think, just one more. Communication. Be open to receiving messages right now. It's important to communicate clearly and honestly. Calls, texts, expression, and answers. So this could be that you're going to get some answers to things that you've been waiting on. Maybe the communication is about these opportunities that are coming up. Maybe it's you that needs to communicate with the people around you so that they can be on the same page and they can support you through what is happening. But you need to be open to that communication happening. So to me, there are a couple of things in this which are very Mercury retrograde. It's this whole thing of moving forward, but poor choices. Are you rushing into this? And I think this is the thing with Mercury retrograde. When things have been sort of coming up for a little while and they were already in place pre-retrograde, or at least looking like they were coming through, they're probably going to be fine. Things that come up out of nowhere during the Mercury retrograde, they could still be fine. But this is where you need to pay more attention, and you don't want to dive into things. I think we've still got 2 weeks. I could be wrong on my timing. Might be a week and a half, but I feel like we've still got 2 weeks of Mercury retrograde. So I feel like that and the communication card are very much sort of leaning towards this whole Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication. This is why we see issues with our electronics and mixed messaging coming in. We often see, people from our past coming back, often relationships, but not just that, just random people from our past coming back. And so just be open to there being communication and hearing what those messages are. And maybe you're the person that needs to reach out and actually communicate what is happening. But I think it's going to be an important topic this week. All right, I feel like I want one more, even though I've got 3. Okay. Okay, so we first start off with the ibis, which is sacred wisdom. And I think this is a moment, we have a whole lot of planets retrograde. We are in Scorpio season, and I always think of Scorpio season as being the time when the veil is thinned. Pluto rules Scorpio, it represents the underworld. And I think that this is a moment where we need to tap into that deeper wisdom. And if you're feeling like you just can't get it, maybe you need to go in search of it. I talked before about our elders and the reason why we revere them as being the oracle and being these wisdomous. I do understand that's not a word, but it's a word that I have used for many years because I love it and I think it's a perfect way to use this word or to sort of create this word. But they are so filled with wisdom, and we need to tap into that. So you need to go searching for that, because I feel like that is going to help guide you. And I love that this card, the ibis, is wandering amongst the stars, and people have been looking to the stars for information and knowledge and guidance for, so very long. And I think that this is a week where we do need to tap into that wisdom, whether it comes from within, whether we're communicating with our guides, whether we're searching for it in real life and going to our personal oracle or finding someone that has that knowledge that is going to give you the information and the guidance that you need to step forward. Then we have honeybee, devotion. This is about being devoted to, I think, this new path that you're on and these new opportunities that are coming in. I think it's about being devoted to you and your growth. Eagle, communion and perspective. The eagle, we talk about eagle eyes. The eagle can soar above the earth, and its eyes can still pinpoint where there is a rodent that they can fly down and, what's the word? collect is not it, but capture this prey and then feast. We always see things through our own lens, and that is not a fault. It's just a fact. When we give people advice, we are giving them advice because of how we see an issue. But I think this is a week where we need to hear what other people are saying. We need to hear those messages. We need to hear their point of view and be able to try and see issues and things that are arising from a different perspective. So make sure you are opening your eyes to that. And I think that in doing that, this whole thing about communion, it's going to allow you to come together with the people that are around you, people within your community, in a much better and harmonious way. And then we finish up with this deck, which is the Emergence deck, and it's Joanna Reed. I am obsessed with this deck at the moment. And this is the Barn Owl, Resourcefulness. You know, you have the resources to create these incredible changes in your life and some incredible momentum moving forward. And you need to tap into that to make the best of these opportunities that are being presented to you, because the universe can present a million things to you, and human nature, your will plays a part in all of this and how our lives play out. Yes, there is destiny. Yes, there are soul contracts in place that, you know, show us where it is we're meant to end up, but free will is a part of all of this. And so how great an opportunity is really dependent on what you choose to do in this moment. So I would say tap into those resources that you have, and the resources might be your own inner strength and how that's going to propel you forward. It could be your resourcefulness in terms of searching for that sacred wisdom and really going, who is it in my life that I can reach out to, or who is someone that I look up to and that I can rely on to guide me in a really good and honest way. It's about being resourceful with your time, your energy, with where you can pull from to get help. And so be very aware of that. And I wanted to finish up with just one card from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. And clearly owls are playing a role in this week's reading. But the card that came out was Sage. Be devoted and committed. So you are on this path, and this is going to keep rolling forward, and it is completely up to you how well or how average this can go. So if you are devoted to these new opportunities, if you are committed to taking hold of these opportunities with both hands and really running with it, I feel like this is going to be an incredible week where in time you'll look back and you'll sort of think, this is the turning point, or this was the turning point for me. These things came up and I did it, and I went at it with full force and full commitment, and I really dug deep to make the best of this opportunity. And I really think that it will serve you well. I hope that this reading resonated with some of you, if not all of you. As I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I would like to welcome all of the new subscribers. After Mercury retrograde did me dirty last week and I had to repost the video, it got a bit of traction and it brought some new people across to the page. And I don't advertise or promote this page. I'm a big believer in the messages reach the right people. So thank you so much for joining me if you're new here. And if you're not new, thank you for the ongoing support. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Those of you on High Vibe, I will be back in the studio finally with David for Full Disclosure on Thursday. So I will see you all then. And I will be back for the weekly Oracle Wisdom next Monday. Have a great one, everyone.